Welcome to Harmony Radio.
Good morning, everybody. And right off the bat, I got to clear my throat. But hey, welcome to Something Brewing. This is Tracy Mahan, and I am here with Cherry Devine. And we are excited to bring you this show on Veterans Day 11/11. We got some powerful numbers going there. Cherry, come on in and say hi.
Good morning, everyone. I'm glad you could join us here on Something Brewing. And guess what? It's all about self-care today.
It
And
is. How do people get to our chat room? We want to make
well,
sure we get everybody where they need to be before we get rolling.
come on over to the Facebook page, Cat Media 2, and that is, if you aren't in our group, ask to join, and Tracy or I will just click you on in, and you will be able to chat along with the rest of us, and that would be fantastic.
It would really help us wake up.
It would. Hey, and I'm even going to throw the number out there really quick if you'd like to call in and join us on the air with your questions, comments, and just beautiful energy. It's 315-314-2012. Again, 315-314-2012. And Tracy, I know there's something I'm forgetting, and so I'll have you just throw it out there for us.
Is that part of? Oh, you could also Skype in harmony.radio and the number one. The phone number is local. It should not be long distance for anybody that lives in the States. But if you are outside of the United States, then Skyping in would be the option for you, and that is harmony.radio and the number one. So we want to make sure people can call in without stress. We don't need stress. So
No, and you know what good does stress do us? It really doesn't do it. It just makes, these weird knots on my shoulders and I can't move. And I'm giving everybody fair warning is I still don't have my laptop back, so I'm not in my office. I'm sitting out in the main portion of the house and I do have little yappy dogs. Right now they're all sleeping and we're going to just ask them to stay that way, but they may add their voices to our show today. You
I'm
never know.
envious of the sleeping dogs. We are on the West Coast, so it is 7 a.m. over here. All you East Coasters that have already had your first cup or second cup of coffee, we're a little gel.
Yeah. It's I really love the show The Voice, and it gets over at 10 o'clock at night, and I'm going, tomorrow's Wednesday. I've got to get up at like 5 or 5:30 because I like being awake to talk to all of you. If I sleep till the last moment, God only knows what I'm going to say. But then again, God only knows what I'm going to say, even if
I
I'm
was gonna
awake.
say, is that what we're blaming it on? Right on.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, I'd
in.
share. Yeah, I'd share what I said this last weekend, but it was a little off color and it was really not meant to be. Oh, I opened mouth, stuck foot right in, and it just happened. I said it to somebody who was like 75, almost 80. It was like, oh my God, that actually came out of my mouth just now. I don't believe that.
Yeah, we did the beautiful Body Mind Spirit Expo, and man, the energy was crazy wonderful for that. And yeah, lots of people came in. I had a lot of people that were first time ever getting a reading, so that
You and
was fun.
y- you and me too. And you know what was really interesting on Sunday, and I'm really happy that this is happening. I had so many men.
Yes,
Yeah,
you were
have
commenting on that.
just
Our booths were side by side, so I
yeah.
was noticing Cherry was bringing in the men.
I was bringing in the men from all ages, all cultures. No, they
They
were
were.
coming, they were coming to me, but no, they were coming in for readings. Some of them, the very first readings, and this is one of the things that you see often in the various events. It's primarily females. A lot of the men are along with their mate. And
Yeah, and you
you
can
could
read
just,
it in their face too.
yeah, they're just being drug along and stuff. But these guys were actually coming in for themselves. And so what I really notice is they'll sit back and they're like, well, I want you to show me. You tell me something I can really, really attach to. Come on,
Yeah,
you show me.
they
So
want
they,
proof.
yes, they do. And it's moving through those barriers and it's really interesting to do. And so yeah, that was an interesting day.
It was, and I think my comment was better you than me. I don't like being tested.
Well, and did you notice on Saturday it was a lot of deep, deep emotion? People, we were hitting some really big stuff on Saturday, people,
Yeah.
which is
Well,
good.
yeah, and I had that both days actually, and I actually was having my own experiences while tuning into people because there were some really powerful people coming in. And
Hmm.
one of the gals that I read had no idea how powerful she really was. And I was sitting there feeling like she was energetically reading me while I was tuning into her, and I could feel all kinds of shifting going on. I'm like, what's happening? Like, am I even
Yes,
in this room anymore? I don't know. It was a crazy energy, and it was good. So lots of fun, and it was fun to be able to do the event side by side like that.
it
Like,
was. And the truth of the matter is when we go into a state for reading, we actually vibrationally disconnect. And there's times other people who are in at a lower frequency or even a higher one, you don't resonate, so you don't even exist in the world. And it's as if you are not there. Even though
yeah.
you're physically present, you're really not there. And it's pretty darn amazing. I had a woman sitting across from me years ago at an event, and I was reading for a person. We went up into who knows where we went up into, and she afterwards the other vendor came over and goes, Cherry, I don't know what just happened, but you guys weren't there. And that, there you go, Tracy. You just
Yep.
weren't there.
I, you know what? I would bet money I wasn't. Or her and I both weren't. Yeah,
No.
it was really cool. But yeah, now it's the recovery time of putting in all that energy, and then I go into my work week. So yeah, I'm still kind of floating on a cloud and wishing I had my blankie and pillow. So
Yeah. Well, and that's the one thing, and Tracy and I were talking about this weekend as many times as, we have this label healers or whatever, or practitioners, you just were put out there. And it's how is it that we take care of ourselves? Because many of us forget. We're always on that area of giving, forgetting to stop, receive, wind down. And just care for ourselves. But you find that in your everyday life too, in people who have families and jobs and all of this. You're always giving and forgetting to stop and take care of you.
hmm
Hey,
now before we dive too deep into that,
I
I
knew
want
what
to
you're going to
jump
do.
into our chat room, and I want to say good morning to our viewers that have made it to the chat room. So hello, Debbie and Tracy L and Elizabeth and Lisa and Charity made it this morning. Good morning, and Melissa and Brenda. Brenda's supposed to be working. Why is Brenda here? No.
We don't
So
care. We're
we
happy.
don't care. We want her here. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
welcome. Hello, good morning. And I know that, there's just a fraction of you guys on the chat room. So, good morning to everybody else that hasn't made it into the chat room or isn't able to. We love that you guys are out there listening and we know you're there. Dun, dun,
And
dun.
dun dun dun. And if you'd like to join us in the chat and you miss how to do this, go to Cat Media 2 on Facebook. If you're not a member, just join. Tracy and I will see you, I hope, and then we will accept you always. And you can join in our conversation today.
Yeah. And just in case, because I know that there are a few cat medias that are on Facebook, it is cat media, all in capital letters, and the number two is attached to the word media. So that might help you make sure you get to the right group.
Yes, well, and it does have a picture of a little cat on it.
It does.
It does.
Yeah. So that's
So
and cat is for consciously awakening together, by the way.
That is it, because that's what we're doing is, all of us are walking through our process, skipping down our path, and we're doing it together. And that's what makes it really glorious. Oh, I like that word, glorious.
Glorious.
Yes, glorious. It's just glorious. Hey, Trace,
Yeah.
what did you do for yourself after the event? I know that you have children at home. I know that you have a full-time job. Did you do any self-care whatsoever
You
after the
know,
event?
one of my favorite self-care things to do is to I don't clear my throat apparently today. Hold on just a moment. So I came home and um I had about a half hour drive and it was pouring down rain. So that in itself was stressful. That was way more stressful than anything that could happen at the event. The event was fun, but the drive home was stressful and then pouring rain, busy, the streets
Mhm.
around here are so busy anymore. It's not even funny. So I got home and ate some dinner. And then I had couch time where I just kind of cuddled up to my kiddos and we watched some TV. And, of course, they wanted to tell me all about their day and what they've been doing. So there was quite a bit of chatter going on. But my escape will be finding something fun to watch. And, and it's usually something that'll make me laugh or, I don't really pull into the drama movies and the like what is that one on cable? It's like True TV or something like that where
Yeah,
it's always some sort of sad ending or somebody gets killed or something. And I don't do those because they're too depressing. So I find something fun and I'll sit down to that and watch it and just kind of decompress and hang out with my kids. So that's what I did.
very, very good. I didn't do too much Sunday when I got home, and I lucked out. We made it after. Maureen Frank, my friend, was with. She was shared my booth with me, and she's also Tracy's friend, just to let everybody know. You know, I just don't own her. She's not just mine. Anyway, we were driving home. We made it after all of the rain. You could see where the roads had been wet. Some were drying, and then other parts were still where you could see you were gone coming into really wet roads where the rain had been. And so we made it without any rain, got here and unloaded and everything before it started raining again. So I thank the gods for that. Um, and I came home, I'm always wound up afterwards. So it took me a little bit to decompress. It's the next day. I did find out years ago not to schedule clients the day after an event usually, but I did have one of my clients call, and I knew it would be one that actually took me up into a higher vibration also. But after that, I did nothing. You know, Tracy, I and everybody else listening, because I'm not just talking to Tracy. It's
This
one of
is
those
just for me,
rambles.
everyone. Plug your ears.
Nobody else. Nobody else. Well, I was brought up a worker bee. I started my first 40-hour week at 9 years old. And I mean, this was a serious 40-hour week. I worked all the way after school, all the way on weekends, for the majority of my life. I held a job. And that's where I had my identity. That's where I got the strokes and all of this. And if I got sick, and this was a pattern I had to look at, if I got sick where I had to stay home from work, I did a form of self-punishing. I would force myself. I could have a raging fever or just be miserable. I would still get up off the couch and I would clean, mop floors, or do something because there was that old guilt thing. Well, I don't do that anymore, thank goodness, because that there is no self-care in that. There is no self-consideration. So on Monday, I had my session early in the morning, and then I just piddled around and did what I did, wanted to do.
Well,
I didn't clean. I didn't have a list to have to. I just vegged the whole day,
the whole day.
the whole
Yeah.
day.
I
And
probably did too, but I was sitting behind a desk when I did it, and I don't know that the boss was probably very happy with me. Nah, it's always good. But just having a total day off of doing nothing, and I totally get where you're coming from with when, because I never call in sick, and I pretty much have to be on a deathbed to not go into work,
Hmm.
and I've always been the same way, like you, and so for me, I did the same thing, or would do the same thing as, well, I'm home. I don't feel good, but I could at least get those dishes done, or I could get this done or that done, run a load of
Hmm.
laundry. I'm always thinking of something I need to do or should do, and find a way to take advantage of the time, even though I'm sick. At least I'm not at work, but I could still get this done. You know, I did the same thing. So that's good. That's good advice to allow yourself to recover and just take care of yourself.
Well,
Fluids, couch time, bedtime, nap time. I asked in the chat room what people do for self care, and Melissa said salt baths and naps. And naps, those are pretty popular. Um,
hmm. Most of us
I'm
are missing our sleep.
yeah, I'm envious of the nap people. So Melissa, you've got my attention. So, um, let's see what else we got. Brenda crochets. Uh, oh, I was gonna say Linda squeals, but that's not
Yay!
what Linda's doing. Linda's squealing because she made it.
Oh,
So Linda, that was good timing to throw that in the chat room for us. So self care.
yes.
That's awesome. Yeah.
You
Oh, and
know,
then Brenda says she gets up and tries to catch the cat media chat room.
I
Yay,
saw that. I
Brenda.
saw that. I've got this group that wants to step in with a message.
Let's
Is
do
that
it.
okay? The moment you quit taking care of you, you actually are not able to fully participate in life. It is important to remember the space that is yours, you, the vessel of you. For as you give to you, you give to all of life. As you care for you care for all life. All life is interconnected, all life is one. When you forget the importance of you automatically diminish the idea of life itself. When we say diminish, we are not saying it in a way that mankind occurs and says it's negativity. That is not at all. It compresses. It compresses you. When you are caring for the self, you will notice that your energy body feels quite large. You feel as if you walk upon this space in a way that is open and free. When you start feeling quite compressed, ask what it is that is necessary for you. And remember, life begins with you. It always begins with you. And so that's what they're saying. And many times we forget when we're doing this that we do compress our energy in. And that's when we get the tight muscles. That's when, because our energy is not flowing and we
Yeah.
get aches, not just tight muscles, but aches, pains, illnesses, that sort of thing. Yet, when you pay attention to when you're caring for yourself, I want you to notice how freely your body moves and how much taller you feel because your energy body isn't compressed then and life itself is not compressed and you don't feel closed off or so they say.
Or so they say. And what was really cool is as you were doing that, I just sat here with my eyes closed and I was getting like this kaleidoscope of colors and shapes and just moving in and out. And, if you guys don't take the opportunity to do that when Cherry goes into channel mode, I encourage you to just close your eyes and be very present of your ears, listening, pulling in the message, and seeing if anything happens during that time. Sometimes you get colors, like today was just a kaleidoscope of things coming in. It just brings you to a whole nother level of um, listening. So it's
Ex-
kind of a fun thing to do.
Mhm. And Tracy woke up today and to care for herself, she decided she needed to be pampered and she booked a mani petty. I read it backwards.
Ah,
And
I
then
like
again,
those.
you and me too. It took me years. I'm not kidding, years. I grew up a worker bee. And I had my first um manicure and pedicure when I was 50 years old.
Oh,
Maybe 40. Nope, it was 50. I had never
I was
experienced that.
I was in my later 30s.
Yeah, I didn't grow up with people that said, "Oh, let's go down and do this." I love them, and it is a way of self-care. It's a way of giving back. Do you know what I found out?
Wait, no, I don't.
Yeah, I found out I could only on one day take so much self-care because years ago I told my husband, and this was after the 50th, said, I would really like to try one of those spa things. And so for Christmas, he gave me a full spa package. I mean, it started like at 8 in the morning and went to 5 or 6.
Oh,
By about
geez.
yeah, about 4 o'clock, I was going, God, I gotta go home. I don't want to do any more of this because I was exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
You have a whole day of being pampered. The last thing I want to do is sit there any longer and have anybody do it. It's like, can
Don't
I
rub
just go
that
home?
anymore.
So I did find out is for me, a day of self-care has to stop, after about 3 o'clock so I can go home and sleep.
Well, I did one. I got some gift cards for massage and facial type stuff. So I did that. That was this year. Went in for a massage and I booked the massage and facial back to back. And I get it. By the time you're done, you're done. And I just couldn't find a way to reconnect myself. I was just kind of out of body when I walked out of there and I was trying to ground out. Oh, but I also did that on the Lionsgate, the 8-8. So,
Hmm.
so the energy of that day plus doing all that massage work and stuff, it really put me in a loopy place. My
That's
poor
right.
children.
But it's a great place to be. And Elizabeth mentioned it's mental is just as important as physical, and it really is. Self-care, there's one thing is honoring yourself, and I know a lot of people are very uncomfortable with this at first, but standing in front of a mirror and looking at who you are, accepting yourself, and telling yourself you love you,
Yeah.
listening to the inner tapes and messages and allowing them to allowing yourself to disconnect from the old ones that have controlled your life that are at a that don't support who you are. And it's really paying attention to that, and it's honoring the way you feel inside. It's cherishing who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Linda's in here. Her self care is again allowing herself to just be lazy sometimes and be okay with it. And that I think is a big one for all of us. Um, sometimes we don't give ourselves permission to just be lazy. Now, I've obviously taught my sons really well how to do self care. Um, I got home
oh,
last night. Nobody brought the garbage out yet. And I'm like, could one
oh,
of you help me get this out? And they all did everything they could to be busy in the moment. And I come back in, I'm like, nobody showed up. Oh, I had to do this. I had to grab that. I'm like, it's like from the house to the curb. It's
oh my,
10
yeah.
feet, guys. Come on. Anyway, they cracked me up. But yes, giving ourselves permission to be lazy
Hmm.
is good.
But
And you know what? Here's one of my rules, and this one will not resonate with everyone,
that's
Helen.
okay.
But I will let a sink full of dishes sit overnight because you know what? I go all day long, usually 7 days a week. And if I'm exhausted and there's dishes to do, they'll wait. I need to go take care of myself, and that's one of the things that I will do. I'm not happy about it when I do tackle the dishes, but I do recognize that in the moment I was exhausted and I needed to just go lay down or not be doing something for a little bit. And so I will give myself permission to do that. So that's one
I
of my self-care things, and it's not everybody's thing because I know, sometimes kitchens need to be spotless, but sometimes they don't.
you
So,
know, Tracy, I think we should run across the ceiling and let it fall just before the counter, a curtain that we can just close at times. I
yeah.
had to have I had to have a child for me to learn how much I pushed myself. When I first had my daughter, I ran around picking up after her everywhere, and I was working 40 plus hours a week, and so when I was home, I'm picking it. She'd let go of a toy or done playing with it, I'd pick it up, I'd rush into the kitchen, do this. I was exhausted. I was totally, and when you quit laughing, you quit smiling. And it's something to realize there are always going to be dishes to be done, always going to be
Mm-hmm.
laundry to be done, a floor to be mopped, vacuumed, whatever. It is always going to be there. But if you're not, nurturing yourself, nourishing yourself, you're not appreciating anything out there because after a while you emotionally and physically shut off.
Yeah. And it's true because I've been there.
You
And
and
it's
me
like,
too.
you know, um, it pushes you to a point of resentment to everybody else in the
Hmm.
house or, just for life in general. It's like, okay, I'm pushed to my limit here, and now I'm feeling resentful. And really, in reality, we're the only ones doing that to ourselves. So,
Exactly, exactly. Oh, and you can become quite the martyr. I Yet I say that because I can remember my martyr days. I gave that one up too because it doesn't serve me. It really doesn't serve me. And I'm a little like Helen. It took I leaving dishes in the sink if there's more than just a few does kind of grate on my nerves. Yet I've had my days I looked at it,
so
closed
you
my
just don't
eyes,
go
and
in the
walked
kitchen,
by.
Cherry.
Yeah, well, my living room and kitchen, it's just
Oh,
kind of
that's right. It's
yeah,
one big
it's
open
kind of
area.
yeah, it is. And so, and then my big computer sits, I have a desk and I have a good sized kitchen, everybody. And so my desk sits out here and I go to the computer. And if I look to my right, all I see is the kitchen counter and the sink. So
Yeah.
just don't turn my head right, right?
There's where
You
that
know,
curtain would come in handy.
you know,
Yeah.
uh,
No, there's nothing more calming and peaceful than a clean house when you come home. And I've tried telling that to the kids. I'm like, I'm going to work a long day today. Maybe, just maybe, you guys might get smart and clean up a little bit so that when I get home, your messes aren't waiting for me. And,
mhm.
that's nice to suggest things. It doesn't mean we get them, but
Do you know there's this thing about children? A lot of times they don't realize that after they grow up and move out and have families of their own, and then all of a sudden they're going, "Oh God, this is what Mom was talking about," and then
yeah.
they're running around picking everything up. But you
Yeah,
get
and then
those
they
ex.
get to the age where they're like, well, how much are you going to pay me for that?
Oh God, I already have grandchildren there, and I'm going. You know what? I tonight, you're eating here and stuff. It's part of being a family today. You can help me out, and it's letting people know it's okay to help you out.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, um, and it
So
and
we have a couple of people that have just joined us in the chat room. So just once, it just reminds me that we do have listeners that pop in a little bit late, and you are listening to Something Brewing. It is 11:11 today, and we're
ooh.
excited to have you guys all here. Make a wish. That's what I like to do when I see the ones. We are chatting over in the Cat Media and then the number two, and that's on Facebook. So it's Cat Media 2. And if you'd like to join us. So hello, Tina. I see you made it. And, we've had Linda come in, and um, there might be somebody else that was new. If I missed you,
Well,
I'm sorry. But yeah, I love it when we see you guys popping in here and saying hello. So I want to make sure we say hello back.
yes, and Pamela Werner is liking our photo on Cat Media, and so she's there online listening there in energy.
All
She's
listening.
there, and they're there.
Ah. Hey, if you
Oh,
guys would like to know what you could do more for self-care and you'd like us to just tune into you and see what comes up, by all means, you can call in and that number is Sherry.
oh, let me get back up there.
Oh,
It,
you don't
it's
have that memorized yet. Oh.
that's part of my self-care. I don't memorize. No, it's 315-314-2012. Again, 315-314-2012. And so, yeah, that's what it's all about. We're
That's
here
what
with
it
you today.
is. And
And I want to talk.
if you're not in the United States, try Skyping in at harmony.radio and the number one. Hello, Mindy. She joined us too.
Good
And
morning.
we say hello to you. We saw her this weekend. She's
Yes, we did.
beautiful energy. Lisa is pointing out that it's also the new moon, and so with the 11:11 and the new moon, we have another gate that opens for manifesting. So today would be an amazing day to just sit down with a little self-care and write out something that you would really love to happen in your life And do it as if it already has.
Well, and here's another thing is because I have a lot of people that say, I do this sort of thing. I write it out. I say it aloud and all of this, and it doesn't work. If you don't feel it, if you don't attach an energy to it, then you're just saying words. You're just writing words. What would it
Mm-hmm.
feel like to have this happen? What would you feel like? What is the emotion that you wrap around this? This is very important for you. Really imagine it, envision it, be immersed in whatever it is that you are creating. Um, Years ago, I used to do that in my old job. I would move into one position and then I knew I wanted to move into the next. And so I would see it in my mind, but I would also see and feel the actions of it and what it felt like.
Yeah.
Okay?
I was going to say, if you want to do the cha cha, you have to feel the cha cha,
That's
right?
right.
Okay.
Hmm. That's
Tracy
it.
L would like us to tune in to her. I believe that's what the Oh Yes Please is about. What can she do? Um,
Well,
okay, with you, Tracy, I feel like I wanted to go straight to that power chakra there in the stomach area, and the feeling I pick up is worry. That you worry about things that worry is a wasted emotion to have because it doesn't do anything but create more worry. So we don't want that one. So, yeah, work on your self care would be to let go of the worry and know that you are always taken care of and the energy around you is beautiful and creative. So just let go of the worry and embrace the now moments and keep your mind there and focused on that so that you're not moving too far ahead and putting yourself into a place of anxiety or worry or fear about anything, rather that be loved ones, finances, workplaces, whatever. So that would be something I would put out there for her. What do you get, Jerry?
well, I keep getting breathe. And that's it. And really pay attention to your breath because when that worry is coming in, you start holding your breath. Your breath becomes kind of shallow even. And so start paying attention to your breath. When you catch yourself doing that, ask what's going on with you and really breathe into it. If something's on your mind that you have attached worry to, instead of holding it in the mind and creating scenarios that or seeing scenarios because you are creating them when we're seeing them, but instead let's uncreate, stop the scenario, envision what you want, and or don't envision anything else. Just take whatever it is you're worrying about to your heart and surround it with love. When we do that, that disconnects that vibration and allows what's in our highest and best good to come in. And
Right.
and
Yeah.
that's it. So breathing is very, very good.
So word police. I'm gonna I'm gonna have you get in there. Tracy wrote in there. Um, Thank you. Really, and I'm gonna do my air quotes. Trying. Laugh out loud. It is tough. Okay, word police.
You know what? There is no such thing trying. And what I tell people when we use that term trying, we're actually, when you have a tight rope walker going, they have this net underneath a lot of times. And that is because then they don't necessarily trust what they're doing. And if they fall, they know or don't complete it, then they have that net. Trying is a word that we put in place many times because we're not allowing ourselves to have the confidence to know that we are on our task and taking the steps. You never try to do anything. The moment you put it out there and you engage, you're doing. And the more you claim it, the more you continue moving forward doing.
And we're gonna do this with everybody in the audience because I am just as guilty of that sad little word trying. But
Ooh.
um, you know, I want everybody that is working at reaching their desire. I want you to claim it like you already have it. And then I want you to put that word trying in there and feel the difference in the energy, the doing versus the trying. I mean, even just saying those two words is powerful with the different vibrations that they carry. So
Oh,
play with that a little bit, you guys, and you'll see what we're talking about. So,
and
yeah.
I'm going to jump in there. I'm the word police. Remember me?
Yeah.
This beautiful woman just said, and I'm guilty of. Oh, really, 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 really. We just put ourselves into shame, just put ourselves into a space of being able to not move forward. It's a judgment. What if we understand it's our process, that we are moving through our challenges, and that this is just one of the ways we do it. Let's pay attention to the terminologies that we use that actually, and we're conditioned to use these that place
We are.
judgment on us,
Yeah.
and those words actually hold us back. Pamela just popped in and it says, I found myself sick last week. Being self employed, it set me back. I'm considering on going back to school for a career with benefits. I feel this is giving up my practice and overwhelming. How do I know what is the right thing to do? Feeling burnt out.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna pop in there really quick because we have a whole bunch of other questions about that. So let's hit that,
Oh,
and
okay.
then
I'm
then we
okay.
need to jump back up and get the others that we're asking for stuff
Okie
as well.
doke. You
Okay,
betcha.
go ahead.
It,
Sorry. I
um,
I'm
do we want to
sorry.
do
I
the
was interrupting again. Yeah, I just didn't want everybody to think we missed them.
Well, what
We do see
happened
them.
is, okay, the Facebook thing, and it kept freezing up on me in the one thing, and then I finally hit see all comments, and so the one that popped in was the last one. Do we want to do the others first, or do we want to
Nope.
do?
This is very divine, and it needs to happen the way it did. I just didn't want our audience to think that we missed the others that we're asking. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll jump back up.
Well, first of all, Pamela, quit the judgment. It's one of the things that's stopping you in place. Yes, of course we're being overwhelmed, but right now this is the energy we're in so that we actually claim ourselves. It's stop in and look inside what supports you. It doesn't mean you have to lose something to move on and go into another area. Does it add to? But also you can attract to you the benefits. One of the things, and I do know Pam personally, is it's time to let go of those that you're caring for and let yourself to be cared for. This is part of what many of us do that are what we call healers, spiritual practitioners. That movement of give, 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 and not allow ourselves to receive back. And that's a big part of it. It's allowing yourself to receive back. It's also, if it looks different, if you step out and do something in another way and it looks different, does not mean that you are not doing what is right for you and what is right for all others that are out there. And it does, to know what, and this is a question for everybody because that she asks, how do I know what is the right thing to do? Get out of your head. Take it to your heart. Your head will lie to you. The heart never does. Where does your heart take you? And when you move into the heart energy, automatically each and everything begins its process of working out. Engage in life. Look and feel what is right for you. Where does your heart lead you? It opens the doorways. When you move into the distrust of life, you are moving back into the fear body of mankind. Hold your thoughts in your heart. It isn't an energy that's necessary to push forward. The energy of the heart opens the doorways and then take that step forward. Mankind has been taught and trained that they must always be doing. They all must always know. They must add energy too. Yet the heart energy reminds you it's just standing in place and allowing the energy of love, the energy of who you are and all that life is, to open the doorways and you walk through them.
Okay, beautiful. I,
I,
I'm gonna
I,
make sure check in and make sure you're done.
I'm done. Yes, it
Okay.
says. We don't have our video, so we're sometimes
Yeah, we have to not do video anymore, so we're we're feeling this out. Okay. So, Pamela, what I get for you is I keep being drawn to the right side, the right arm, the shoulder, the neck, like just lots of tension, lots of energy going on the right side. what I've been asking is what is that energy? And it just feels like there's some balance that's needed. And to allow yourself to receive right now, it's almost like, you're trying to, there I am using that word.
Yeah.
You're pushing against the wall of figuring things out, and it's creating a resistance. And so just kind of taking a breath, allowing that, like Cherry was saying, bring it into the heart and do something fun, do something that'll make you laugh, take a break from working on figuring it out, and the answers will come in a little bit easier. Allow your body to be in a softer place because right now it just feels like there's a lot of tension, a lot of muscles that are crying out. Maybe we'll go back up to who was it that said they do the salt bath and nap? That would be a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Take a salt
Yep.
bath, take a bath, take a nap, or just kind of give yourself permission to have at least like 2 hours to just do a little self care and not have to think about figuring anything out because it feels like it's just got you in such a place that there's no way the answer could come in even if it wanted to. So,
Mm-hmm. That's it.
all right.
So,
So Melissa Green was saying, "Me, please."
me please. Oh, here, can I step right into that?
Please
What is
do.
it? What is me please? What are we?
Oh, no, it's me next, please.
Okay. Next for what? See, this is the thing here. It's also claiming, and it's putting it out there. Is how, what do you see for self care for me? What would be good for me? Really put it out there because this opens the door. It creates. And if, yes, I know I saw that little girl jumping up and down saying, "Me, please, next, next, next." Yet let's really put it out there. What is it you are looking for? And one of the things, the me, please, is allowing your size to self to verbalize what it is you are choosing to have in your life, allowing yourself to actually put the words in. And then that opens your doorway of stepping into self care for you. It actually helps you identify what feels right for you and actually be there in that. So that was a little my group's on today, guys. They're catching us. So
All right. And let me know. Are you done?
oh, yeah.
Okay.
I stopped. It's your turn. I put
The
my head
baton.
down.
Pass the baton. Okay, so Melissa, first thing I went to was your throat, and it's about speaking your truths, and your self care is going to be about honesty with yourself and others right now. So, bringing out your truth, speaking your truth. Now, I know that you do readings on the Living in the Light page, and that's something that's fairly new and it's amazing. You're doing a great job, and it's about trusting it. It's about speaking it. I can already feel the energy moving with you, so that's good news. But just being open to allowing and trusting the messages that are coming in and putting the words to it so that they can reach the person that was intended to hear them. It's all about you being open and but again, you have to be honest with yourself as well. So it's about speaking your truth. Okay.
Yes, I like that. And Tracy and I don't collaborate in between, and both of us picked up on speaking.
Yeah.
Seems to be, that is self-care, stating what's right for us. I talked to Tracy about something that occurred for me this week, and it was allowing myself to speak what was right for me, my truth. It doesn't look like somebody else's truth, and that's okay. We all are looking at the world from our viewpoint, our filters. We're moving through it and feeling through it, and that is okay.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen the Thug Kitty video that goes around where the cat's gonna knock something off the shelf and looks over at the camera and they're going, "No, no, no, no," and then he does it anyway? I just had that happen here.
Oh,
My
I
Thug
heard it.
Kitty decided that the stuff sitting on the table behind me was in his way. So there was this
Oh,
big crashing noise. I'm like, what the heck? And he's like all getting stretched out on the table. It's like, okay,
oh my
little
gosh.
pill.
Okay, so now Tracy said, like I said, I lost the page and stuff, and so
Oh,
it came back. But Debbie B has a
Tina's
question.
next.
Tina is next. Thank you. I'm trusting Tracy to keep me on track here.
I'm trying to go in order, and
Well,
hopefully
no,
we'll get
that's
to
oh, you're
everybody.
only trying. You're
I'm
only
only
trying.
trying because, sometimes the Facebook gets me messed up. But yes, I'm doing my bestest to stay in order.
There we
So,
are.
Tina is saying that she would like us to tune into her too, please.
Tune
I
in.
love how everybody's so polite. Please.
Yes,
And you're
please,
welcome.
please. Tina, there's something about stretching, self-care. It shows you actually doing mild stretching, whether it be forms of yoga or just a little more physical. Your body's requiring some stretching, some movement, walking outside, stopping, touching your toe. Yeah, stop wherever you are and touch your toes. But the body's saying, hey, pay attention to me. I'm ready. I want to move. And even I don't know if you do Zumba or something. It doesn't have to be that vigorous. Because as soon as I said Zumba and there's movement in it, they pointed back to the yoga and just stretching. Being outside and doing this is very, very nurturing for you, very, very good for you. And this is a way that your body's calling to you. What do you get,
Mm,
Trace?
I'm getting that I need to do that too.
Yeah, me too. Let's go
Let's
join
just turn this
Tina.
into a big yoga class
There we
and we'll all
go.
do that.
And
Okay.
let's head outside in our jammies and stretch and get in touch with nature. It's raining. Get your coat
Terry,
on.
not everybody's still in their jammies.
Oh, uh, oh, yeah, that's my world. See, my world is the same as your world. You're all
Oh,
dressed.
I'm dressed. I'm ready to go.
I'm in my jammies and I got my
Yeah.
slippers on.
Okay, Tina. First thing I got when I tuned into you was going right to the heart chakra. And this could fall into what Cherry is saying as well with the stretching and being in the body and stuff, but there's something that you love to do that you have not been doing. And so I want you to take some time today to just check in. If you know what it is offhand, thumbs up, we're ready to roll, go do that. But if you're not quite sure what I'm talking about, there is something that you love to do that you have not been able to do lately, and I want you to find a spot to put that in and make it happen because your heart is calling for it. So, listening to the heart. Let's go back
Hmm.
there again.
Yep.
Okay, so let's see. I think Linda is telling us a story.
Is
Brenda,
it?
Brenda would like us to look at her if we feel like it.
If we feel, oh, I like that. If we feel like it.
Okay, we
Nah,
feel
I'm
like
not
it.
in the mood.
I
I'm
think
not in
so.
the mood, Brenda. We're gonna just bypass you. And
Beep.
that was, before you even said that, it is all of a sudden I saw a circle and Brenda stepping into it. So Brenda is self-care, claiming yourself. There was that part of you that really wanted us to look into you. But you added the if you feel like it. That keeps taking you out of this, the idea of importance in your life. And so for self care, I want you to keep you in the circle of whatever and understand your importance, what you're adding to life. I want you to acknowledge yourself all throughout the days, and just stop and say, "Good job." Acknowledging what you add to the world is self care. Acknowledging your words, you count, is self care. Put yourself in the circle and put a light on it because this was, I don't know why the room went dark and the circle, it was really shadowed and the circle was there, and you were outside of it, but and then stepped into it, but it was still shadowed. So really pour light on you.
Oh, I'm going to sit under that pouring light too. We should
Yes.
all do that. Let's just pour some light on us.
Yeah. So receive the
Yeah.
light.
So, Brenda,
Woohoo.
what I'm getting with you is some third eye stuff going on, and that I know that you are moving forward in some new abilities or remembering uh, those psychic pieces of yourself, and they're starting to come back in. And what I'm being shown is that you would probably really enjoy some third eye exercises, and that you could Google stuff like that. What are some third eye exercises? See what you find online. There's books out there about it. Find the one that you're pulled to, that you resonate with. But third eye stuff comes to me on you, and I think that that would start bringing you a lot of joy to play and work with that. So that would be my suggestion for self-care is to follow your pursuit of the waking up because it's
Yeah.
making you very happy.
Laying down with a piece of azurite, Azurite, placed on the third eye and just breathing in and out through it. That actually opens the third eye and it's very relaxing. And you're not doing anything but breathing. And it just assists that energy of the third eye.
Yeah.
And do you know
So
how
I
many
see
people?
that Brenda went to go do her dishes. Little
Ah,
character.
you want to
Just
come
kidding.
do mine? No,
Um,
no, I actually have mine done.
that's too funny. Okay, so I think we're down to Debbie now. If we miss
Okay.
somebody, please jump back in the chat and say something so that we don't miss you. But
Mhm.
yeah,
And Debbie brings up a really good point. She goes, hair, makeup, pedicures aren't relaxing for me. Everybody's idea of relaxing is not the same. And giving back to the self. And for Debbie, I just see her walking outside, a leisurely walk, out in the fall, even stopping under a tree. If there's a slight rain, dress warm, sweetie, because it feels like it is. You want comfort. It's bring comfort into you in the way that you take it. That doesn't mean putting on your coat and getting outside and doing hard work. It means really stopping, walking, looking around someplace natural and let that feed your soul because that's what I'm getting is how you care for you. That reminds your heart chakra to stay open. That brings back the energy of life to you. There's something about sitting in, oh, there's too much energy in many of the places where you go in, and it's remembering there are some people when they're going in for the self-care, the petty manis, those sort of thing, they have a lot of their own issues going on, and that energy is bouncing out around the rooms. So if you do go in and do this, you can go ahead and surround yourself with light, but it just shows natural nature gives back to Debbie. Anyway,
Debbie needs to get back in nature.
yeah. Sure. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so I noticed everybody was posting about Thug Kitty, so I'm posting a picture of Thug Kitty.
Oh, that kitty's cool.
Yeah, so if you want to see a picture of my Thug Kitty, that is the space she cleared out. I had a couple of little books sitting there on the massage table behind me, and she decided that they needed to go. So, okay, Debbie, with you. Ah, interesting. I'm going into the left side and the left leg. And usually for me, when that happens, that means that there's something you're not letting go of in the past and the foot feels stuck. So just calling in your angels to help you to release the past, and that'll help you to move forward. Um, Asking if what area of life is this in? Uh, okay, so this is okay, the feeling I get with this is that you're afraid to feel things like on a psychic level, and that you're not allowing the feelings to come in as strong as they could because there's something from a past, rather it be a past life or a past event in your current life that is holding you back from feeling and letting that empath fully come in. And that can be intimidating. So, just calling in your tribe, your little troops on the spiritual realm, and ask them to help you move through that and feel safe about it would be a great thing for you to do for self care and to just be present with the feelings as they come in. There's some that need to come in for yourself, and then that'll open you up to be more in tune with others and be able to do it safely so that you don't carry their stuff. So,
Hmm.
okay.
Well, Tracy, do you want to move on into Lisa Stanfield?
Lisa. Lisa
Lisa,
was at the expo this weekend, and I got to see her for like a half a minute. So, yeah, I need some Lisa time. Let's see.
there you go.
Uh, okay, so the lower three chakras pop up with Lisa for me, and so definitely some self care, some um, I'm not sure what's pulling at your power chakra, Lisa, but it feels like it comes from behind. I want to go backwards with that. So something from the past possibly is pulling at you, or somebody courted to you. It's courting. Okay, so you have someone that courted to you that's pulling your energy, and it might be creating some digestive issues and things like that because it is happening in the lower part of your torso. So what we're going to do is call in Archangel Michael to cut those cords and to send healing, love, and light in each direction, forgiveness in all directions. And let's see that sealed and um, claim your power. You're really good at that. So reclaim your power and move forward from that. And if you feel anything pulling at you, you know how to cut those cords and create the healing around that. So just be aware of those lower chakras and if there's any pull on them. Okay, Jerry.
One of the things that was happening while you were talking is all of a sudden energy started coming into my left hand. And that's one of the things Lisa isn't understanding is that she's staying on. And as she's moving by, she's actually pulling in people's energy and holding it. It's not ours to take in everybody's energy. That's not our job. It's okay to shut off, but and when you do find yourself pulling in others' energy, breathe into it, ask your angels, ask the essence of who you are, ask all of those that are supporting you to transmute it to love, to let that energy go, to transmute it to love. Really start paying attention to when you're out and around people, who you automatically, I mean, you're brushing by people, Lisa, and all of a sudden you're bringing in their energy. That is not, again, oh, somebody's getting really firm on this. This is not your job. It's not for you to do 24/7. And so it's okay to know you're doing everything the way that's right for you, but you don't have to take on everybody else's. It's
Mm,
surround there again, there's that surround with light.
yeah,
Allow yourself, a lot of us are not understanding that, we're walking out into the world, our energy bodies are wide open, and we're brushing past people that are in some form of turmoil or chaos. Well, we automatically say, oh, let me help you with this.
yeah.
And it's giving ourselves permission to understand each and every person is on their own divine path, and that when it's time to help someone, it comes into us in a way that there's an asking, not us just gathering and giving ourselves permission just to send light out, not take in others' energy. Just send light out. They'll actually connect to the light themselves and be able to open up if that's what's in their highest and best good.
And there that is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Love it. So we
me
have
too.
two more, and I have time today because there is no school today. There is no children to get up. So if you have time to go over, I do.
I do. I do. And what's really
All right.
fun is I do have a little granddaughter staying with me. In about a half hour, she came out as I'm sitting in the kitchen and she's grabbing milk and she's doing this and she's doing that. And I'm going, shh. But she went into the
She was
bedroom.
very quiet.
Yeah, so she went into the other room. And so, yeah, I have time.
She wasn't anything like my thug kitty. She was quiet. So
There you
okay.
go.
Well, we got Linda asking that if there's time, would you please give me a message? So Linda, and you can jump in first if you want. That's all good. It, if you're picking up something right away.
Right away into Linda. What's really interesting is Linda is not coming up on my page, and this
Mm,
is actually moving into what's perfect for her. Linda, it's time to let yourself be seen and heard. Linda, it's time for you to understand the importance of you. Linda, feel the light of love that you are. Linda, remind yourself you are in this existence. To be seen does not mean you take away from anyone else. To be heard does not mean you overreach anyone else. Linda, remember the importance of you. Self-care is remembering that you are a divine life, that you are here to be seen and heard, not always standing in the background. And what people don't always understand is there's times we are speaking and we are showing ourselves, but we're holding the main parts of us back. We're still very cautious about that. And that's what I got about Linda. So there we go.
Okay. So with Linda, the first thing that came in was the right ear. Um, Taking in, and you're talking about being seen and all of that. There's things that with the right ear and feeling like there's a resistance to hearing something, hearing a message that's been coming through, and it might be that one that you're talking about.
Hmm.
So, yeah, that was the first thing that came through is kind of like this resistance in the right ear. And so, sweetie, if there's something that well, you need to hear that message and you need to get yourself out there and seen. And she impacts a lot more lives than I think she realizes she does, and makes a difference for people. And she's a very strong energy and a very grounding energy for people.
Hmm.
So, a very important role in life and in the world. We all need people that help us to stay grounded, and she's definitely one of those.
Well,
So, love it.
yeah. And I'm going to step into what she just wrote. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Linda went on to say, I try see challenges as learning, but sometimes it is hard to get over a difficult energy. Convert it to light and love and let it go. Okay, first of all, I want to tackle each and every one piece of this. There is no trying. And you're right. So when you claim this, our challenges are a way for us to learn. So get rid of it is I see these challenges as a learning. Yay. Not just sometimes, all the time. Then when we turn around and say it is hard to get over, we just claimed how hard it was. We just put a big old obstacle right in our path. We aren't moving around it or through it. We're actually pushing our shoulders against it. And so it's a matter of saying, this is a challenge. We move through our process and then it opens it. Take whatever it is to your heart. Remember, you don't have to push a lot of energy out. When you find yourself saying it's hard, it's difficult, all of this, what are you holding on to? Where is it you're not willing to let go? And then convert it to light and love and let it go. And this is important here. The the experiences we have in our life contain energy of emotion. And it's the part that we're actually moving through and releasing is the energy. Never release the parts of you. Never deny who you are. Each and every experience in your life is a chosen experience. In your infinite wisdom, you have chosen this. Always make sure that you are carrying the pieces of you right with you. Hold you in your heart as you do everything else. It's allowing the energy to be transmuted to light, transmuted to love, allowing the old energy to disperse, no longer holding on to it. Never deny aspects of you. That is mankind's backdoor way of saying, I'm not enough. And children of light, you are always enough. Okay, I'm done. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was a lot of information, and I love how the information will go out there and resonate with everyone listening. It's not just for the person we're reading, but obviously the universe knows what it's doing. It's brought the group that it's brought together today for a reason. The messages go out so broad and touch so many of us that there's definitely no mistake in all of us being here together. And I have another distraction. Somebody else is making noise. I think it's a different cat. So I only have two cats, so one of them is doing something in another room now that's making a lot of noise. But okay, so our last one is Elizabeth. And Elizabeth, when I tuned into you, wow, you are really radiating out some amazing energy. It was like pulsating and vibrating out. And, um, you know, we often exchange numbers, Elizabeth and I do, like when we see the ones and the twos or whatever on the clock or however that goes, and we'll text or message each other. And I have to tell you, I really think the energy of today is resonating with you really strong because you have been so tuned into these numbers. And, obviously, Spirit has been showing them to you daily, all day long. And today we have the 1111 and we have that new moon energy and we have that manifestation power. And if you're not feeling that giddiness inside, I'll be surprised because your energy was just absolutely phenomenal. And so I want you to use that to just hold. It doesn't feel like you have to put your desire out there anymore. You've put the desire out there. Just hold that energy of it already being here for you and spend some time maybe visualizing what that looks like as it is already here. So being in the energy of catch already caught up to it and now it's here, it's available for you. This desire has manifested. That's what I would say. Okay,
Well,
Sherry.
and what's really fun is I just looked up and we've gone 1 hour and 11 minutes. And all of a sudden my attention's pulled to that, and that's true. Is Elizabeth, you're quite the manifester. It's allowing yourself to have it, receiving, practice receiving. Let yourself play the game of receiving. No matter how big or how small, all of the positives of life, say yes, yes, thank you. Yes, please. Oh, thank you. I deserve this. This is really giving back to you because you give, give, give to others. Very important. So, yeah. And
Hmm.
there's something for each and every person out there listening, to remember, because I hear over and over and over again, my gifts. Well, my gifts, taking it out. And this is their gift to you. It's remembering each and every one of you are the gift. You are the gift of life. What you do are your chosen abilities. They do not define the wholeness of who you are. You are the light. You are the love. You are the gift. Allow that to come all the way into you and recognize it. And that is when you take there's hesitation. When they get stuck like that, there means somebody's hesitating somewhere. So look at where you're not willing to understand you are the gift, and that you allow yourself to receive all of, of the wonders of life. Okay, and I was going to say, when you were doing your reading, all of a sudden light tunnel came in through the crown chakra and into the body, and that's one of the things Elizabeth does is she helps people find light or feel their own
Mm.
light. So anyway,
That makes sense. She is a beam of light.
yes, he
She's
is.
beautiful. Yeah,
Yes,
you know
he is.
Elizabeth.
Yes,
So
y'all are
yeah,
beautiful. You're beautiful,
beautiful.
beautiful, beautiful.
Well, on that beautiful note, everybody just be in that light today and bring all that beautiful energy into some self-care. Everybody's assignment, self-care. You know, if you weren't able to be in the chat room and ask a question, you know, just go to the heart. Find what it is that you desire, what you haven't been allowing yourself to do lately, and bring in that self-care around that. And there, any last words on that, Cherry? And then how do people reach you?
Oh, okay. I'm going to say hi to Barbara, who just popped in with a little red-headed rooster, I think it is. Anyway, it doesn't matter what it is. It's just Barbara. Anyway, you can find me by going to cherrydivine.com, and I love for everybody to look at the picture of the ruins on my page and see if you can see the Mayan royal that presented himself to me while taking the picture. Or you can go to Cherry Divine LLC or Cherry Divine 417 on Facebook and become my friend. Become my friend. We also, and this
Because we're
is,
lovable.
we're lovable. We really are. And we have an event here coming up in Corvallis, Oregon on the 5th of December, and you will be able to find me there too. So I'll tell more about that closer it gets, but I thought I'd throw that one out there.
Yeah, and if you guys want to know about the events we're doing and the different specials that we offer and all of that, by all means, come over to our Facebook pages and be our
Yes.
friends because we're posting on there all the time about different things that are going on and different events we're doing and different specials we might be running. Sometimes I do the power animals on there, and that's always a fun thing to participate in. And yeah, and then so come find us. You can find me at
Hmm.
Tracy Mahan CHT on Facebook, and the CHT is Certified Hypnotherapist. Some people ask, so I figure I'd throw that out there.
Yes.
My website is tracymahan.com, and of course you can find us both on Cat Media too on the Facebook as well. So there you guys have it. Go out and have a
Hmm.
magnificent manifesting 11/11 Veterans Day. So,
Yes. And on one of the I'm carrying this on. One more I'm another plug. I do a blog and I write in it off and on my website. So that's always interesting and fun too. Something there might touch your heart or something there will touch your heart. See? Claimed
mm,
it. Anyway,
claimed
and I
it.
yes, and I'm getting ready to update my events on that page too. So a lot of, I do try to. I just
Oh,
stepped.
word police.
Yep, we got me. We got me. I do post on my website the various events I will be attending. Okay, all about claiming. Love you guys. Love you, Tracy.
Love you,
Thank.
Cherry. All
Yes.
right. We will see you guys next Wednesday on your midweek pick me up on something brewing. Bye bye.
Bye bye.